Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome on back to part 3 of Beginner Python. First off, happy Friday. Another Hawaiian shirt Friday out of one of my favorite things when I was a software developer back in the day. So, briefly. Anyways, let's see. And as far as that quote, I was trying to find out who actually said that, and I went down a bit of a rabbit hole. Go ahead and put it's quote investigator where I found these, and as well as an old Bible reference, which I don't know, but basically the idea is two wrongs don't make a right. So especially with like what's going on in the world today, we just gotta be careful. That's about all as far as I'll go into that. But anywho, I wanted to take another look at this Python playground. Let's go ahead and close this chat for now. So I like it, but it's not complete. Um, it's not complete by any means, actually. So if you look at, also I have it pumping or sending it to data structures, so that's not good. I've been messing with it. Anyway, there's a couple of glaring things like this error, whatever is causing this to be red. I still need to figure that out. I'm looking into that, and I want to say it's because I have two of the same file names in the call. And the directions they tell you to do, oh wait, where did I have a, yeah. So here is the exercise, a coding exercise, which is what they call this section where you can actually interactively run a section of code, and you can change the code. So this is what it looks like, and then like for this example I just have it stepping by 2, so it prints every other character. You could also just make that into a -1, and then, or any of these examples that I have down low. So we've got, multiply it across, we're using variables and doing manipulations, stuff like that. So I like this page so far. It's still not the best. I almost want to add another testing box in the middle. I mean, ideally they'd have a testing box after each one, but that's just a bit excessive, and I don't know. That's I got you a little pit stop down here. You can test code. I mean, kids today will never, they won't know the struggle of having to research compilers, or, is my version of Linux compatible with this compiler, or do I even have Linux? Am I trying to port over all of this logic to a Windows or a Mac machine, and I don't even know. Macs have Linux, apparently. Let's see, I still need to get myself familiar with that hardware, but anywho, Dockers, apparently, is what's going on here. This is how to build a Docker, that, and then you have your interpreter right here. We're using Python 3 to interpret test universe, which is funny because I still have those files. If we take a look at our, let's see, yes, and I was also adding on to the control flow, but if you take a look at my file structure for the linked GitHub, and again, this is something that you'll have to do if you want to make one of these playgrounds. You're going to have to connect your GitHub. You'll get one of these randomized stubs for your repository that links up with CodinGame's playgrounds, and then you edit the files here. I should point out that eventually I want to go back and rename these files something logical, instead of statement 1 through 8. Because apparently it doesn't matter. I just kind of assumed this naming structure, but for some reason, when I was changing statement 1, it was having issues. So rather than introduce more bugs and more work and more headache, I just left it alone for now. So this is very basic. Again, the most important file right here, tech.io, you have to think of this as like a header file if you're doing C++, or if you're familiar with C++, or just basically outlining what the contents of this project, this repo, are. So, or this is like a markup, I think. Yeah, markup language, I want to say. I don't know for sure, but anyways. And then this section we had to add. So if you're going to make a Python playground, you need to add this section. And that's why I have Python out and not Java and not C++, because they make it easy. They give you the example of how to do it for Python, configure your tech.io YML, add this, and then it even tells you, Python project, although this, real quick, that actually changes to // if you don't have a hierarchy structure to your files. You just want it to include all the files in the local directory, the local folder, however you want to think about it. That's how GitHub's thinking about it. So change that. Other than that, though, the example leads you to be able to create a Python playground with relative ease. So, and again, this is the line, this is the buzz line. That's how you add these little interactive things. And that's what actually took me a while to figure out. Although it's funny, you run it once, then that red goes away. I just noticed that. Because look how ugly that is. Oh, it's red. You know, why is it red? But then it turns to green. And then if you were to change it again, as long as it compiles, or it doesn't even compile, as long as it's interpreted correctly. There, yeah. Okay, so again, that's more cosmetic. I'm more concerned right now with the actual material. So, let's go to, oh, and also, I'm going to leave it at just the 2 links. I mean, if people want to watch the creation of this, you know, we've got the first and second video available. That's also good because then, you know, if you're just trying to learn this language, I think I do a brief explanation of the stuff as I go through it. If not, I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch it again. I do have tutorial videos out, but I keep redoing them, remaking the wheel. So glad I found this, though. Anyways, I digress. So let's go to control flow. This is where I'm adding, yeah, and see again, it's got that red. However, this is all it was before. When I just had it published, this is all we had. So now I added this section. Oh, also real quick, let's get rid of some of these things. So I don't know where the quote came from. You know, be nice to each other, 2 wrongs don't make it right, basically. And then I usually like to keep that up. That, so we can get rid of that. Oh, big announcement before I get too far. I have finished my Arabic translation, so I'm just waiting on my colleagues to look it over and verify that it makes sense and it works. Where did that go? So, and I added a link. Actually, let's go back to just basic OSCS. I'm trying to make it accessible from everywhere. Now you have the option for the Arabic version. It's still being edited, but at least now, and if you click on that, I left the English with the Arabic, just using Google Translate. So again, you know, and I almost wonder if people that speak other languages don't just do that. Like their browser already translates stuff to this degree. So that would be something interesting for me to find out. However, I was just thinking, you know, my tutoring experience was mostly with people that didn't speak English as a first language. And so they were often speaking, you know, like very basic English. So I'd break it down to basic English and to where they'd understand it. I wish we could have had some tool like this where I'm just like, there we go, that's what I'm saying, you know. But rather than make them translate it in real time in their head, you know, they can just have it at their leisure. So anyways, there's that. So we can get rid of that. And again, OSCS is my project, open source computer science. Whoops, I went somewhere. Okay. And it's nowhere near done. It will never be done. I'm going to continue to add to this for as long as I can as I get into more stuff. Like I even added a security tab because after some discussion with one of my other colleagues from my cybersecurity bootcamp, there are some concepts in security that we could and should teach the general public that won't get you in trouble. This is more the blue team side, protecting yourself against cyber attacks, which has been a huge increase since this whole debacle going on. But I mean, again, as long as you follow certain safety things, you should be okay. Worst case, I don't know. Credit card companies don't even ding you anymore. Like if you get robbed, I've had my card stolen a few times, and it's like, who cares? I mean, they don't even chase them anymore. Like, anyways, I digress. That's probably bad. But when I get rid of this, I'm just gonna clear out. Well, no, I'll keep one lurking. These I'm going to get rid of. These have just caused me a headache. I've got them bookmarked, but, you know, once I figure this out, I intend on making a video or a tutorial. Uh-oh, it looks like we're lagging. So yeah, I need to get rid of some of these things that I'm not using anymore. That's an old quote. I'm using Google Translate a lot. Let's get rid of these. Oh, something else before I get too deep into this stream. Um, During my Tiny Tina stream the other day, one of my old friends and colleagues joined. And sorry, I'm also going off of notes. I write extensive notes for these streams. So, and as you know, all of these videos will be available on YouTube. So I like to make sure that we have archiving of all this stuff. So, anyways, what my friend and colleague was saying was something to the tune of, it's not fair, there are barriers to education. So, and I found a new one. Normally it's like you have to pay for formal education. So again, that's one of the biggest reasons I'm making things like this, is so it doesn't matter if you can afford an education, you can learn, it's encouraged. But I found a new frustrating thing, LinkedIn. I was doing a thing and I was like, oh, a machine learning like course and stuff. It was like, oh, take a free look at it. And then it's like, you have 24 hours to do this course. It's like, oh, ooh, otherwise you have to pay for it. So I've got literally 24 hours. Also, I have this up here. Be careful with this link, the Learn C++. It is filled with clickbait ads. Like, don't click any of this stuff. It's not regulated. Like, I don't ever click ads like that. You never know. And see, look at that right there. An ad right in the middle. You're trying to learn a new language. Boom. So, rest assured, I will make a C++ playground. I mean, all I'm really missing right now is the functionality of the run button. I just don't have that. I could lay out, I've got C++ materials that I'm working on similar to this, just in C++. So within the next week or two, I should have a C++. For now, you can go to this link, cpp.com. Be careful. I mean, practice say Google foo. Don't get like that. And these ads aren't even relevant. Okay, there's a tiny Tina. I was getting lows. I haven't done any house shopping or banking or so that tells me a lot of this is just randomized. This isn't though. That they got on point. Anyways, so we can get rid of that. And I have tons of so this is the markdown version, the clean version of this GitHub that I have open. So I've been trying to figure out how to use this, the CMake GCC runner, like I'm doing with like the example. They show you Python, so they make it easy. All you gotta do is type Python 3, there's your runner. And as soon as you just tweak a few things, you're good. So once I figure it out for C++, I'll make a playground for C++ as well. So, alright, anywho, and I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. And so that was one thing that I was struggling with, trying to wrap my mind around. Like, I was even trying to take this and put this in my GitHub, but that doesn't make sense because I'm already able to use Python, and I don't have any Python interpreters in my thing. So again, I don't know. And I think I might have just not found, because they have a bunch of additional resources. I barely started looking at that. I don't know about how good my contributions would be for now, but they're free to take anything and use anything from anything I build. So, it's all free. But, anywho, what's this? Yeah, this is more research into. I was trying to figure out. Oh, wait a minute. Oh gosh, I know I said Python, but let's try this real quick. Is that it? That might be the line that I was missing. The specific runner. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna leave that up for now. I'm actually gonna go. No, I'm gonna make a note of it for now. I'll play with that later. This is a Python stream. We're working on Python. We'll stay focused. Whoops. Let's see. But if that's it, then I might have a C++ playground up before the end of the day or the next couple of days. Alright, cool. So back to Python. Like I was saying, I did add a little bit of control flow. It's still not great, but it does point out how you can use ones or zeros or booleans I do need to add in, I guess I didn't save that change yet. I do need to talk about comparators, like if valid and the meaning of life equals 42. So this would still run, it's valid, or no, it wouldn't, because if not valid and the meaning of life equals. So little things to tweak, but again, I want these examples to already be existing there, or to already exist there when people get to this point, so then they can see, oh, there are other ways that we can use control flow to direct our logic throughout the program. So, in fact, I was watching a stream with Retcher, I want to say, let's see, I just followed him, but he was doing some code golf, much surpassing my level. Let's see, following, yeah, Retcher. He does streams on Thursdays apparently. Oh, whoops. Yeah, and they've got some really cool discussions going on the puzzles, but I get easily distracted, so I'm gonna close that. But anyways, yeah, check out Retcher on or Retcher. I don't know. He does French streaming on Thursdays. I tried my best with Google Translate, but I mean, you know, does really good in depth, and he walked through a lot of really useful tips for shortest game for code golf. But anyways, the reason I bring that up is because if you look at this, he actually brought up the concept of this. Like we were trying to shrink my code down, you know, and you can also do like this. If it's just a single line section of code, you can actually keep it in line with an if statement. See, if one, let's go ahead and run it. It shouldn't cause any problems. Yeah, so we've got the green. One worked as well. So we see that output. You can make your code more concise by doing this. You can do little single line logic as long as there's only one thing. I think he said, you know, if you start doing also print this as well, you know, something like that, it doesn't work, because now it's like, okay, wait, you've got too many things, you need to have this in its own section. Or maybe if it's that, now then it's going to get confused thinking that's a different function or that's linked. So then you would have to put it back on or in its own section that's properly indented. So see, now we've got it. This as well is now included in this part. And again, if you want to ever cut down on the printing, you can just throw a pound sign or a hashtag, whatever you want to call it. Although you got to be careful with that, because then you break this. If it doesn't do anything, yeah, see, there's an error. It needs to do something. So that's not even what I do with that. And since these will be all in the Learn Python series, so it'd be good to note, I just do like, you know, like a count variable equals 0. If I wanted to stop printing, if it's bothering me, you can do one of two things. You can either comment out the whole thing, oops. So if you click here and comment out the actual if statement, then it's not going to matter. Then it doesn't care. Then it'll run. Or, you know, if you're being lazy, or if you just don't want to do that, or another way, sorry, it's not lazy. You can also do just count plus equals 1. So you're incrementing count. Doesn't matter, I'm not even using count, but this way it stops complaining. It'll still run the program. And then, actually, I don't even have it. Is that proper indent? Sorry, because if I take that out, then that's going to crash. Yeah, it has an issue there because these have to be the same. They can be weird indentation, I think. Yeah, as long as they're consistent. It's also good practice to not get too fancy with your indentations. If you're using single space indentation, don't use a full 4-space tab indentation later. That's just bad practice. However, if you're doing code golf on CodinGame, you should make these into single space because they count as 4. Whoops. And then that, no, let me do it right. So take it away, add 1 space. So 4 becomes 1. So personally, for tutorial materials, and it actually doesn't matter what I do to this, it refreshes every time, so I can just take it all out. Oh no. Then we just, and I even broke it. You can just go to another page, like data structures. That's the other one I've been working on. Well, I haven't actually changed anything, but this is also my next goal, is to add some list functionality, built-in functions, sorting, stuff like that, dictionary stuff, how to, oh, whoa, I'm clicking things. But again, doesn't matter, you just go to another one, and then, actually let's go back to control flow, and you'll see that I didn't break, never mind. Maybe you have to click reset the code. So, never mind. Leaving the page and coming back, it still has a broken code, but you can just reset it. It will pull that code from that file again and reset everything. So, and it also does that again. So I'm almost wondering, where, yeah, if you do add a coding exercise, it gives you that line that you need to include to make that. And this is what I'm thinking is, I think it just needs to have, defines what files to show the user. Test command given to the Docker image for this project when the user presses the run button. Let me try changing that back real quick and seeing what that does. So let's go back to, let's see, here's my GitHub. And just go to Hello World, statement 1, which I believe is universe and test universe. Let's look at this. Yeah, so I've got it pulling universe. Then if we go back to test universe, what does that look like? Holy smokes, that got overwritten. Yeah, so I was just, this is how I know that the behavior didn't act like I was expecting. So let's go ahead and change that again. We need to go to our tech.io, go to here. Let's change this to, I think it's just test underscore, whoops. Let's look at that again. Yeah, test universe.py. So if we change it back to that, so it's using different things. Does that take away the red? It's gray now. So maybe that is what. But let's go ahead and publish. Let's go back to Hello World, because for whatever reason it depends. You know, it doesn't start out from the beginning. I think it's wherever you left off. So you want to go back to the beginning, then click publish. It throws those tags back in. And again, I believe this changes the link. So you want to make sure that when you're telling people to find your playground or find this playground, just tell them to go here, activities, learn. Because then whatever the most recent version that exists will be refreshed. So now it's 64843, and I don't know if that was the code originally assigned to it, but anyways. And also notice we're now on Hello World, and yeah, that fixed the red. However, watch this. So we want to do a backwards printing. We click run. Holy smokes, that got overwritten mitten, eh? No, I want to run this. So let's reset the code. See, it's counterintuitive, right? Like, who cares what was in test universe? We want what's in here. Then if we click it, that doesn't help anyone. So Something else I'm just looking into, because, I mean, again, this is what it looks like normally. You get the red. However, you can actually run what's in this, and it gives you back this. So it's using this file, the stubs, which if we go back here, I just left it as universe for this one. If you go to another one, oh, sorry, I don't have interactivity with comments, but primitive variables, if you look at this one, I actually started using um, file names that make sense. PV for primitive variables.py. But anyways, I have to keep them the same, otherwise you get this. So this is the bugged version that has, it doesn't look good, but it functions. Whereas, so if we reset the Docker, right, reload the sample code. Oh, that just does that. It doesn't change this. Okay, well, good to know. So that one looks bad initially, but functions. Whereas this one looks good, but doesn't function. Let's go ahead and reload. Let's do it this way. I mean, for now I'm at the top, so it's not that hard to test as you go and see changes. Yeah, see this? Not appealing. You run it. Oh, wait, that was broken and it didn't. Ooh. Okay, well, then that makes absolutely no sense. I'm gonna go back to Hello World and change that. Come on. So, yeah. I'm all for functionality. I mean, over appearances, over looks. So, okay. Now, if we were to open it up again, okay. Doesn't look good. However, if we click run, we're not going to hear about mittens. It's just backwards string. And again, down here now they're both similar. You know, they're going to have this red. But if you run it, it works. And we can change it. And then see the changes. So, the point of having the Docker. So anyways, we got that. Okay, so now, control flow, added a little bit. The next thing I want to do, and might do some of this off screen, but I have sorting algorithms pulled up. There we go. So, a good way to demonstrate data structures is to recreate sorting structures, or sorting algorithms. So, we'll be adding some content for that. Let's see. Sorry, I just got all these things happening on. Anyways. And also, what's really cool is if you'll notice, this link actually goes to freecodecamp.org. And if you go to freecodecamp, they actually explain sorting algorithms. So, I have this pulled up. This is one of the best free tutorials I've found. Unfortunately, it's more centered towards web development at first, so you got to kind of dig in. It does have a data section or data science section for Python. But yeah, they started off teaching you HTML, CSS, web design stuff, and then web dev stuff. But they do have nifty stuff like this, and they have a great. Oh, this was only written 2 years ago too. They also have a really great mailer too. So if you're really trying to up your game coding wise, get on their free CodeCamp mailer, and they send you all sorts of YouTube videos, tutorials, interactive stuff. So, however, CodinGame's quickly becoming my new favorite too because you can do stuff like this. So, anywho, sorting algorithms for data structures as well as, let's go ahead and change it. So it's very basic right now. So we don't want to add, let's go there. So, go to data structures. So at least for now, want to add. Yeah, let's see. Function. Well, and this is a very basic explanation too. Let's see. If we actually go to Python on OSCS, I added a GitHub with, let's see. I found this guy's GitHub for a cheat sheet. That's a lot better than what I'm doing right now. Refuse to connect. Oh yeah, because it's from a... Anyways. I need to explain lists a lot better than just this. So, let's see. Either way, I know we want to add a code stub. I mean, again, it would just be better. Let's actually, to access specific items like this, use an index. Yeah, it's not the best for now. Well, I'll do better, but let's see. Sorting algorithms would be a great way to demonstrate that. So if we actually, let's see, first I want to add an interactivity thing, so let's go pull that line, and then let's go back to data structures. Okay. Now, I can plop that line down right here. Okay. Try adding, accessing, and removing elements from this list. Then we'll do list.py, same file until I figure out a better way to do it. And then there we go. Save it. It's going to have issues until we create a file called list here. So, create a new file, just list.py. And let's say example list equals that. List.append 1. Print example list. Let's see. Let's append a couple of things. There we go. Actually, we can put those, well, we'll leave it spaced out. Well, we'll just do it 0. Show the first element. Oops, no. Do like first item at index 0. Okay. That's another thing I really, oops, I realize I haven't mentioned yet is zero-based indexing, which is huge in computer science. So at least there's a mention of the concept that it starts off, and then also you want to make it print the correct things. But there, so that gives something more for people to actually start playing with as far as lists go. So let's go ahead and do that. And I might come back and improve it, but for now, is it going to be okay? Still haven't figured out the real best way to do this. Just a lot of patience, but yeah, so we have the code. Let's see what it spits out. Oh no. Yeah, and then so it's good that they know about that issue. So one interesting thing I found, Java doesn't care if it's a string, if it's an int, if it's a float, if it's a boolean, it'll print out anything in its system.out.println method, which is the equivalent of the print function for Java. However, Python doesn't like it when you try to print non-string types. So quick fix, in fact I'll show you here, you just cast it as a string. Well, okay, that should fix it. Yep. Okay. Also, I think it's important to see how the list changes after you append some things. Maybe take out some spacing here. Group it all together. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Let's change our file to that. And that'll be the stub that shows up when people get to that. So at least now there's some interactivity that you can see lists. Also, let's see. To sort a list, use the dot sort or sorted functions. And then I want to add examples. Let's see. Because the dot sort and the sorted are different. And it's good to point that out. So let's go ahead and just mention them there, and then we can show examples. So yeah, give it a sec, let it save. Okay. Because if you're not patient, you have the possibility of adding in a lot more, yeah, a lot more problems. So what I want to do, could just make this stub really long. Or, thinking it's almost better if we did like a whole nother line. So if we left that like that, yeah, let's go ahead and update our file. So then you got to go back over to GitHub, go to your list.py file, edit it, and just gonna plop down everything I did there. There we go. Okay, and then commit the changes, and then you can see it in real time reflected here. If we go, oh no, we might not even have to navigate away from the page. We gotta let it build. And see, even with CodinGame, like, how I said that, like, they have ads, but they at least keep it, whereas that Learn C++ site, it was so easy to click on an ad accidentally. Here you can see, okay, there's an ad. All this other stuff doesn't look dangerous. Or, not that that's dangerous, but, this looks a lot cleaner. Anyways, personal preference. If you're gonna try to teach somebody, don't muck it up with a bunch of ads. I mean, a little bit of ads, okay, but you know, not like learn C++. That site. Let's actually look at that again. Learn CPP. So if you go to learncpp.com, you get so many. Like, watch this. Oh, that looks good. You know, at first glance, this looks like all info, no fluff, no nonsense. It just has all the concepts. But if you click into something, and then here's all the ads, and then that's what I don't like. It looks like it's meant to be part of the tutorial. So then you get into the tutorials, and wait for them all to load. And again, these ads are not relevant. I haven't even been talking about these things, but anyways, right here, it's an ad. It says that. To click, and then as you're scrolling through, okay, I'm used to seeing that as an ad. Then you go down. It's like boom, you've got the buttons you're supposed to click, navigate through. Then oh wait, what's this? Accidental click ad. So it's not good. I digress. We'll leave that. But back to what we were working with. Oh yeah, this is gonna cause some lag. All right. We'll leave that up for now. But back to data structures. So what I'm thinking, oh, and then you can see it did pull up the new version of the file, so that's good. However, I think I want to put the sort stuff in its own little section, so let's go ahead and do that. And we might just get into the habit of just adding. It's really not that hard to add these dockers. So, or actually, first let's go ahead and cut that out. Add it in here. Oops. Oops. No. It only needs to line up with this. That looks. Or this. Sorry, I guess I could have just lined it up with that. So we're good. So now. Okay. Then. Oops. Let's pop that down there. Do list sort. And I can tell already I might want to add a hierarchy structure. Because if you go here, if you look at it, it'd be better to have them in separate directories. But restructuring a file structure, for anyone who's done web development, there's a good chance that you know about that headache. You break one thing, then it's all broken until you fix everything, and then if you don't fix it all in one go, there's a chance you'll forget stuff. So, anyways, list.sort.py, and let's do toSort equals. Now let's actually just do it. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Print sorted to sort. Print to sort. So that shows that sorted only sorts it for that time. However, sorted list equals sorted to sort. Print sorted list. There we go. Then okay, I believe that should work for demonstrating the differences, the subtle differences between sorting it with sorted and sorting it with sort, just dot sort. So let's go ahead and let it build now. Okay. Also, let's clear some of these messages. Let's do quote. There we go. Some inspirational stuff. We don't want to feel bad about learning. Hey, what's up, Chad? Oh, that works too. I was just clearing those messages from from chat. I've been starting off the streams with quotes and then, yeah. Anyways, welcome. So, oh, good news. I might have actually figured out what I need to change to fix that C++ playground. So I'll be working on that today and tomorrow, trying to get that up. For now, we're doing Hawaiian Fridays with fixing up the Python playground, adding some examples, so making it better. Let's see. Okay, was never closed. What did I do? Probably one of these. Yep, line 3. So let's go ahead and fix that. Yeah, I need to add some folders. Let's see. And there we go. Cool. So now, every time we change, let it rebuild. Alright. So now if we go down. Okay. Could be potentially confusing to someone just starting out. So, let's see. See, so still using sorted. Don't want to add too many of these print statements because this is going to make it really lengthy. Let's see. Well, now we can do it. And then for now. Okay, there we go. Is that too wordy? No, I like that. Hey, what's up, Bob? How you been? I actually did a Tiny Tina stream the other day. It was a lot of fun. I'm not sure if you got that one yet, but one of these days we should do a Borderlands 3 run or something. It's been a while. Let's see. Let's change all this. Alright. So now it'll build. Yeah, that's the Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Have you played it yet? I actually did a 3 hour stream the other day. I got like pretty far. I don't know. Been doing one off stream too, just to kind of enjoy it, and I've gotten pretty far. Let's see. So that looks good. Hmm. Oh, yep. School comes first, for sure. But yeah, I'll try to be on more. I've been kind of distracted lately with doing this stuff. Like even when I'm not streaming, I've been stressing over trying to make. Well, so I made this. I don't know if you've seen this, but this exists on CodinGame, and it's like a complete beginner, including the videos of how I made it, so that people that want to make these can make them as well. But it's a complete beginner's guide to Python, and it's actually featured in the Learn section of CodinGame. It's awesome. So yeah, you just go here. There's my CodinGame persona. And you got all of this beginner Python stuff. And that's what we're fixing right now. If you look at the data structures, it's very lacking. But no, as far as oh, so CodinGame, this is let's see. So if you go back, this is where you mix code with games. So like there's a lot of puzzles. I've only done a couple so far, but if you go to practice, it's in game. Like they match the words together, but it's really cool. They've got people from around the world that do coding and they do clashes. Like I'm almost finished with that. You got this. If we just click into one of these, you'll see. This is a good example. This is Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy kind of themed. So, and let's see if we go in. There you go. You'll see it in action here. So you actually write the code that manipulates. Oh, no worries. That's why I'm spending all this time. Like everybody should have access to coding materials. Everybody should be able to code, regardless of, you know, money, formal education, anything like that. Of course, if you're still in school, like it might be a bit much. But as far as like a hobby, there are a lot of computer scientists that are self-taught that don't spend anything on a formal education. So but yeah, and just doing this, like, it shows you all the different types. Like, what you need to code to fix it is, like, which direction those clones go. And then once they go, okay, so now they're going to need to go that way and not into the laser walls. I don't know, it's just really cool stuff. Or there's also a Thor's one that's a bit easier. That one I can show the actual solution to. Let's go back to, where is it? Do I not have? Well, anyways, it's a lot simpler, but yeah. Oh, no worries. So coding games, if you do, It's just like a hobby thing. Like, I mean, if you go to like actual, if you go to compete, then you can do a clash. Then you can actually compete with other people. Well, I say people, but some are bots. But yeah, I don't know. Then you can also see where's my profile on it. But if you go to this little dealie, every time someone's streaming, so all the time, see, it just pops up right there. It's really cool. So like every time I'm doing these tutorials, it alerts everybody that's on CodinGame. But I digress. And no worries, like we can still do the Borderlands. I mean, once you're done with exams and stuff. But wait, did you get the? Sorry, did you say? Did you get the new Borderlands, or are you still doing the three? Because I mean, it's I still have a lot of kind of left off on that Borderlands 3 character. Let's see. I think I want to add this a little bit. Yeah, actually, let's go right here. See, we'll go here. There. So now we're gonna do dictionary and dictionary. Okay, and it's gonna freak out at us because we don't have that file, but now we can make the file over here. Then what? Oops. Oh, example dictionary equals that. Hmm. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out. I don't want to get too deep into. So we need to have a similar way, and yeah, there's already errors for people to be able to play with dictionaries like we have with lists. So we want to show. Oh, okay. Hmm. No. I mean, ultimately, if you were doing a letter dictionary equals that, then for char in let's see, alphabet equals A B C D E F G H I J K L M N P Q U V W X Y and Z. There we go. And there are much easier ways to do this than how I'm doing it here. There's like ASCII dot lower, stuff like that. However, do it this way: if char in letter dictionary equals 1. There we go. So that might be a little complex for just jumping into dictionaries, but to play with, oh, and we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, print letter dictionary. And then might add something to this. So yeah, I started streaming the new Borderlands, Tiny Tina's. I did like a good 3 hours the other day. It was just me and an old buddy from college and colleague just chatting. But yeah, I'll be doing Tiny Tina's streams. Um, I've been in a frenzy trying to get these out though, because I should hopefully be going back to work soon. But until then, I've got all this time, so I want to put out all these tutorials. But no, I'll definitely be streaming Tiny Tina's. It's so much fun. It's awesome. Let's see. And actually, I put it up on the YouTubes too. So, but I'll do more. Maybe I'll do that today. Maybe I'll actually finally take a break and do some more Tiny Tina's, because I could spend hours doing this stuff, and I do. Like this, I was up till like 2 or 3 in the morning doing this stuff last night. So, okay. So now we have this. And it works. Yeah. Okay, so this is not finished. However, I do want to at least add that so people can start playing around with it. But oh, cool. Yeah. Let's go ahead and publish this. Actually, you know, some Tiny Tina's does sound pretty fun right about now. Yeah, I'll switch over there. Let me make sure this is good. So yeah, CodinGame, it's mostly for learning coding. Let's see. It's free to use. But, I mean, it's no biggie. Coding is becoming so big of just basic curriculum now. I have a few family members that do grade school education. They're teachers here in America, and like they're already telling me that, you know, oh yeah, coding, that's getting earlier and earlier. So, oh, sorry, I digress. I wanted to make sure that we have functionality on our data structure page. Got the lists and got the dictionaries. Cool. So now people can play around with it and do all that good stuff. So, still a work in progress, but yeah, let's switch to some Tiny Tina's, I'm thinking. So, that does it for this one. I'm going to be coming back on my much less fancy tiny. I don't have a game card or any of the overlays and stuff, but anyways, let's do some Tiny Tina's. Alright, thanks for stopping by, and that's good for Python Part 3. See you, everybody.